next 2 hours?
Well, my family's coming back from New Zealand. They were just on a hike and their boots are getting put through some fluid to let them back in the country. So I'm going to drive out there, pick them up and kind of check in about how this game's going, but I'm not going to watch it.
You obviously came in with this mentality to really high octane, switch everything. Is this about as well as you thought tonight could have gone as far as the result and the way you guys played?
Yeah, it was something new for us, to come out and play the way that we did at the start of the game, to switch everything, to double every post up, and to the boys' credit, every time we've just kind of thrown something different out there, they've bought into it. We didn't think the results of it helped us as much as we wanted it to. They still made some really tough contested threes, and some of the mismatches that the switching causes. They're talented people, and they made tough shots, and so we kind of reverted a little bit back to playing our traditional defence the second half, and it didn't change too much either. The scoreboard just kept ticking over, but it was. I'm not sure if we've put up 116 in my time here. I'll be able to. Someone else will know that better. I'm not even sure in that Sydney semi-final if we put up that many, but and we felt like our offense was so much better in that game. But I loved the second efforts tonight. The second chance points that we got, the offensive rebounding that we picked up was massive, and it's been something we've been preaching all year. Is we believe in it, and there was a massive. I'm not sure who got the O board, but the kick out to CG for that three was massive. But that was a big factor in the game tonight.
How different is it for you coaching, knowing that you're not just playing for the win, but you're also playing for points, and so every little thing matters. You're working the clock and things like that too.
Yeah, I'm glad Cairns won that game, because trying to roll in and think that the only scenario is for us to win by 40. It's a challenging one to get in your head, to say this is the only thing that we can control right now. And so Cairns getting that win, just pulled our aggressiveness back a little bit to say, hey, we just, this is a really good team coming in. They're going to come in really loose, and the way they started the game with Galloway, it's like, well, there's an intent to shoot as many threes as possible tonight, and they shot 25. They shot it really well, but yeah, it could have been a game where they come in and shot 43s, and we're unbelievably aggressive. So maybe we did a decent job of not letting them have that many.
In the first quarter, I think we saw Lucky Barker and McQuedge on the floor at the same time. And we checked, I don't think they've shared the floor this season. Given the urgency of this game, what went into the thinking in that?
Yeah, we've at different times we've had subbing patterns and different things that we want to look at, and the second half of the year I just threw it out and I said I just got to coach on feel for the rest of the year. And so if people I felt were tired, I had to trust some people, and if they come up with some good play, then they get to play a little bit more. So I thought Lockie's 15 minutes was really critical for us tonight to rest a few guys and to still keep a scoring threat out on the floor. Newell's, other people coming off the bench. There was a lot of people that did their job tonight. But when game was on the line, Tuck's ability to attack the paint. Made some big time threes tonight, and none more big than one on the buzzer too. If that's a shot that gets us through to the play-in game, crazy. But I love the concept of just playing out 40 minutes, and this league encourages it, and I love the way that we played.
So how did you feel out there, knowing that you had to get all the points you could, and especially in that final stretch, hitting that three, and obviously hearing the crowd do what they did? But what's it like playing out there, knowing that you've got to run up and down and get points on the board?
That's my style of play. I love to get up and down, as you guys know. We just wanted to get the best shots that we could. Me, CG, X, everybody just take good open ones. And that last shot was just one that I felt like if I hit and that makes a difference, then there it is. So it was good. That's how I like to play.
How have you felt with the looks that you guys get with Marcus on the floor, knowing that you can switch everything? It's a little bit more up tempo. Knowing that you can go to that if you make the play in the playoffs. as well as, you know, the traditional style of play that you guys have?
He just gives us a different look. It's a lob threat, heavy rebound guy, a guy that can switch out, like you said, and guard and still contest at the rim. So just that dynamic that we have to be able to, you know, give teams a different view, a different defense to, you know, keep them on their toes is great.
So you said you're not going to check it all. I'll ask you, Tuck. Like, I can't believe that there's no way you're at least like checking your app or checking the scores the next couple of hours.
I mean, the last couple weeks, I've been dialed in. I think I told my cousin, I said, I don't think I've watched this much basketball ever. But today, yeah, I think I'm kind of like Coach. I don't even want to watch. No. I just want to let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully they go our way, and we'll figure it out from there.
Hopefully, for your guys' sake, it's not over and there's more games to come. But how would you describe the roller coaster? I'm thinking of early press conference we had where there was fewer smiles than the back half. It's been a lot more positive, obviously.
I just love how this group, coaches included, staff included, has, you know, just rallied together and, you know, made sacrifices, you know, and just got it done. We became so close, like super close, just over that stretch of, you know, the hardships, and I think that's what led us to, you know, getting wins like this and, you know, up and down game like this and to stretch it out and be able to, you know, get hard-fought wins. So it's been great.
Do you think just more broadly, I remember halfway through the season when you referenced the percentage stuff with people scoring late in games, that it's always going to be different. International people may not be familiar and it might always be a talking point, but do you feel that this season is maybe a perfect example of why it should be a conversation moving forward?
Yeah, you know, I'm happy to talk to every other coach in the league and say, hey, you know, this is what we're going to do in our league. You know, there's an understanding about you don't want to see anyone injured in a last play or anything like that, but you know, there's some smart times to assess that, but you know, I think if there's a general understanding in our league that, hey, we're going to shoot the ball at the end of the game and everyone's into it, I think it's just got to be a discussion that we have in our coaches meeting at the start of the year, and if everybody's accepting of it about which way we go on that, and I'm all for it, and yeah, you know, if we're going to have this continual top six, I'm sure it's going to keep happening with the success of it this year and seeing these games at the end of the season, how much they count for everything. And I think that's what you want as a league. You just want these games that matter so much, and yeah, percentage mattering as well in the way that you get to the finals. So happy to have that conversation.
It's obviously a different cultural thing to the NBA, because NBA there's no percentages, they just do it out. It's a different situation here, isn't it? So that's probably strengthens the.
Yeah, we're different, right? They play 82 games. You know, they're allowed to have a little rest in the last 10 seconds of the game. We play 28 games. You know, and I think that's, you know, it's our culture, right? We play it to the death, and then you shake hands, and sometimes you have a beer together or whatever. But it's a little bit different to, you know, what the NBA is.
Just from your perspective, I mean, so whatever happens today, I mean, you guys were 5-10. For you guys to turn it around, you know, 10 of the last 13. I mean, how proud of you are you of the team in the second half of the season? Yeah, you know, I'm sure there was a press conference somewhere where I said we just have to be the best second half team of the year, and I'm not sure if anyone else got 10 wins in the second half of the year, but I'm sure it puts us right up there in what we achieved in the second half, and you know, a lot of those were with Shea Lee back in the lineup, but in a big moment today with not having him in the lineup and not having Barlow in the lineup, and, you know, winning games where you don't have a full roster, huge. And, you know, I thought X played one of his best games all year, and, you know, really controlled things and put his feet in the paint and made 3 balls, and, you know, he was really, really solid today. So, yeah. You know, pleasing. You know, I battled through that time. It was like, how are we going to get a win? How we, you know, when we're going through that patch, and, you know, there's a lot of people that talk to me and just kind of say, you know, it's not about where you're at right now. It's about how you just get up, and, you know, how you get your group up, and how you respond, and how you start believing. And, you know, our group was great when we kind of changed and gave them a little bit more freedom to just go and play and shoot the basketball and be positive. And we saw a couple of our leaders, you know, I thought Knowles and Chris just joking around, being happy and having fun through that period, and rubbed off on everybody. Marcus coming in and connecting everyone, and,
it just became an element. It's like, let's just go have a crack at this, and really pleased with the result.
When you think back on the entirety of this regular season and all the changes to the lineups and different roles, X starting to the bench and starting again, and other guys in and out, and Jordan coming and going, all this stuff when you factor all in, and where you've ended up, obviously. Has this been the most challenging season that you've been through in terms of countering all these things along the way, and not just like having your group and knowing how you're going to play week in and week out and just trying to be the best at that?
Oh, without a doubt, and go back further, go back and say the two things that we can't have happen, to our lineup is we lose Delhi and we upgrade Shea. We can't lose that guy in the upgrade. We have Joel Cool go to China and we upgrade Ari. We can't have that guy disappear, and we can't replace him as a next star. We have the two things that just can't happen, and that put us on the back foot from the start. And so to work our way through it, to navigate it, to go through the highs and lows of this season, even throw Isaac's announcement in there as a high for the group and different things. It was one of the craziest seasons I've ever been part of.
Tuck, how do you look at this whole journey? I mean, obviously the group you joined back in August or September to today is very different in terms of the way you play, but how have you found the ride and how much have you enjoyed it?
Oh man, I've loved it. This group has, turned into people I can call my brothers, mentors. It's been great to challenge me on and off the court, mature me on and off the court, just made me a better person, better player. Like I told him today in the huddle after the game, like, I love y'all boys. Like, it's one of those type feelings. I'm so glad I made the decision to come over here and be a part of this, and just where we started and where we've come. So yeah, it's been great. That's a blessing.
You may not have thought about it yet, but one of the likely scenarios to play out is you could end up sixth and play South East Melbourne in that 5v6 game. So to have a potential throwdown game with that kind of impact, especially after you guys had to play that semi-final series a couple of years ago behind closed doors in Sydney, what would that mean in terms of, I guess, that rivalry for the city, but just, I guess, bringing big basketball back to Melbourne?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be at the NBL game last night, and just to see women's basketball on such a high, and having that play here with 7,500 people. Shout out to Lauren. I hope she's doing well. It was a horrible thing to see her injured at the start of the game, and go back to our rivalry with the Phoenix, and I think we've had enough travel in the last month to play a game in Melbourne would be great right now, and we've had great battles with them all year. It's going to be a packed out house. It'd be a super fun environment to be the first kind of play-in game and set a tone for what that's about. I still search for firsts in this game, to play the Christmas game, to play in the first play-in game. Those are special moments for me to be able to be a part of. Hopefully we don't have the same result and we can come out on the right side, but just right now I want to be in that game and play them. That'll be great fun.
If you make the play, are you hoping to get anyone back available?
Yeah, doubtful, I think. I think the symptoms with the two guys that have got concussion haven't improved enough to say that they would be playing.
Is your understanding Thursday night? Do you have any? Is it?
Yeah, that's what we understand. So, awards night Tuesday. Some teams have got to travel to that and travel back and do some different things. Being at that awards night, we were able to practice on that day and practice again on the Wednesday and get ready for Thursday.
Might need a bigger arena.
Why not? Why not? I'm happy to go to a bigger arena. Yeah.